Hello everyone. I hope you all are well at home. Today we are going to start the next topic of your chapter 11, that is atmospheric refraction. Okay, so we know that this atmosphere consists of air, but the density of this air is not uniform everywhere. That means at every level it is going to change. And you know what? The density of air is maximum near the surface, and as we go to the higher altitudes or higher heights, it will gradually decrease. The density of the air decreases as we move away from the surface, or you can say as we go to the higher altitudes. Okay, but the sunlight is traveling from atmosphere to the earth's surface. Okay, that means it is traveling from rarer to the denser medium. Okay, and as we know that if a light ray travels from rarer to the denser medium, the light ray changes its path a little. That is why the refraction takes place. And this traveling of light from rarer to the denser medium, traveling of sunlight from rarer to the denser medium is known as atmospheric refraction. So it will definitely give some natural phenomena. Those phenomena we are going to discuss in this video now. The first one is twinkling of stars. Okay, twinkling of stars. We know that stars emit their own light, so this light will also travel from that vacuum, that means from space towards the earth's surface, so it will definitely suffers the refractions. Okay, so this light travels from rarer to denser medium, and this light suffers refractions. As we know that density is increasing as we move towards the earth's surface, plus there is a slight change or a continuous variation in the temperature and the pressure of the layers also. So that is why when this atmosphere reflects more light towards the earth, then we see the stars appearing bright, and when this atmosphere reflects less light towards the eyes, then the stars appears dim. So this continuous increase and decrease in the amount of starlight, that means the intensity of the light reaching to our eyes, gives twinkling effect of the stars. Okay, that is why the stars twinkle. Stars actually do not twinkle. Actually, what makes it twinkle is the atmospheric refraction. Because when the light ray travels from stars to the earth's surface, it suffers refractions, and these refractions, they are more at some point and sometimes they are less. That depends upon the temperature and the pressure of the atmosphere, which makes it appearing twinkle. Clear? Then it is also an optical phenomena based upon atmospheric refraction. Next comes here one more note point I have written here, that planets do not twinkle. Why do we say that planets do not twinkle? They are still at their position. Why? Well, planets appears to be bigger than stars. Why? Because planets are, as compared to stars, planets are close to Earth. That is why the intensity of light we receive from planets is very large. And since there is very less variation in the increase and decrease of the intensity of light, that is why we don't see the planets twinkle. We see the stars twinkle because there was a slight difference between the intensity of light, because it is more and less somewhere or at some part, okay, of its path. But in case of planets, there is very slight variation in the intensity of light. That is why in the brightness, small variation in the brightness of light coming from planet after refraction. So that is why this variation is not noticeable. Since it is not noticeable, these planets do not twinkle. Okay, then your next is star seems higher than they actually are. Now this is an important point, that why they seems higher, as means they are actually not that high. Actually they are higher, but then too it appears higher. So why? Because when light enters the atmosphere, it suffers a refraction, so it is gradually changing its path. That is why we see the stars higher than they actually are. Let us see how it happens. Just look at this diagram here. See, this is the actual position of the star. This is the actual position. Light is traveling from here. It refracts. Again it changes its path because there might be rarer to denser medium. Again it is changing. Again and again it is changing, and that is why it seems to be here. So that means the observer is standing here. He will see that the star is here. That means a perpendicular distance, if you will see, no. So its apparent position will become this one, which will be a slightly higher than its real position. As you can see in this figure also, he is the observer. Light is traveling from here. The path of ray is here, and it is gradually changing its path because it is traveling from rarer to denser medium, as the density is not same throughout. Okay, so the apparent position of the star will become higher than its real position. Clear? So refractive index is also increasing because the density is increasing as we go down towards the surface. That is why the refractive index is also increasing. Okay, higher the refractive index, more the density. Then your next topic is advanced sunlight and delayed sunset. Now, why does this happens? The sunlight advance and delayed sunset. Actually, the sun appears 2 minutes before it rises, and it is visible 2 minutes later or longer, 2 minutes longer after it sets. Okay, so why does this happens? Actually this happens, I'll show you a diagram. From that only I'm going to explain why does this happen. It is also following the same phenomena as the stars are following. Okay, now see, let us consider that the observer is standing here. So this is the S1 position. I can say that this is the S1 position. So this is the real position. Let us consider this is S1, the real position. Okay, observer is standing here. Observer is observing this. No, observer might not be observing this, but there is a light traveling from this position to the observer. That is from sun to the earth's surface. So it will suffer refractions here, and as it reaches towards the observer, and if you will draw a straight line here, you will see the sun here. So this is actually the apparent position. It is still below the horizon. The sun, actually I have shown you the sunset position. This is the sunrise. Both are same. Sunrise position, this is S1 and this is S2. The sun is actually below the horizon, but it suffers refraction. The light coming from this suffers refractions, because of which we are able to see the sun here. So this is apparent position. This is the same thing happens when the sun sets. So this is the final position. This is actually the position of the sun, but it is still appearing. It is actually below the horizon. That means sun is already set. Okay, but because of refractions suffered by the light rays coming from sun, you are able to see the sun here. That means you can see it 2 minutes longer, and you can see 2 minutes before the sun rises. Okay, that is why we say that a day is 4 minutes longer. The apparent flattening of the sun's disk at sunrise and sunset is also the atmospheric refraction. This we are going to discuss now, that why the sun appears flat. This is how the sun appears at the time of sunrise or sun sets, but at noon time it appears circular only. Why we say that? Because the rays coming from the sun enters the atmosphere normally, and when it enters normally, it will not suffer any refraction. You know that when a light ray falls normally on the surface, it will refract back from there only. Okay, and normally it will retrace its path, we can say. So that time it seems to be circular, but at the time of sunrise and sunset, why it appears flattened? Actually, at that time, at the time of sunrise or sunset, the light from upper and the lower edges of the sun suffer unequal refraction. Why? Because they are at the different levels. Since they are at the different levels, so when it travels through the atmosphere, it gives unequal refraction, because of which the sun appears oval to the observer present on the earth. Is it clear to you? Let me show you again that when the sunlight is traveling from this position or from this position, that means from upper or the lower part, when the sunlight travels, so it suffers different or unequal refraction. Why? Because this is at the different level is changed, that is why it will suffer unequal refraction, and because of that only we are not able to see the circular form of the sun. Actually we see the flattened part because of this unequal refraction. Is that clear to you? Then move to the next topic. Next topic is scattering of light. Then what is scattering? Scattering means phenomena, or we can say spreading. So why does the light scatter? Actually the light scatter because when it travels from the atmosphere, there are gases present in the atmosphere. So there are atoms and molecules. So when this light travels through the atoms and molecules of these gases present in the atmosphere, they absorb it and then re-emit it again in different directions. These atoms and molecules absorb it. We know that they are not of same size. Okay, so they absorb it and then resend it or re-emit it. So this re-emission of the light in different directions makes it scatter. And this process is known as scattering of light. So let us see again the proper definition of it, that scattering is a phenomenon in which direction of sunlight incidenting on atoms and molecules or dust particles etc. change. That means they are changing the direction. So since the direction is getting changed, so we say that it is a scattering of light. And actually these scatters are of different size. So these scatterers, I use the word scatter here, but I have not discussed. Scatterers means those atoms and molecules because of which the light is scattering. Okay, so the intensity of scattered light depends upon the size of the scatter. The object which is scattering the light, it depends upon that how much, means what is the intensity of the scattered light. So now this is the time to focus on that. According to Rayleigh is a scientist, okay, who has given this phenomena. So according to Rayleigh, if the size of the scatterer is much less than the wavelength of incident light. Now we have already studied about the incident light wavelength. Yes, in the formation of rainbow. Clear? So if the size of the scatterer is much less than the wavelength of the incident light, then the intensity of scattered light is inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength. So this you have to learn, that according to Rayleigh, if the size of a scatterer is much less than, that means अगर atoms and molecules छोटे हैं, then the wavelength of incident light, तो जो intensity of scattered light होगी वो inversely proportional to fourth power of wavelength होगी. What I said, that intensity is inversely proportional to wavelength. That means wavelength जितनी छोटी होगी intensity उतनी ज़्यादा होगी. So what we have discussed in rainbow formation, which color is having the least wavelength? That is violet. And which is having the highest wavelength? That is red color. So now move to the mathematical part of this Rayleigh, that if A is very much less than lambda means wavelength, then intensity of the light is inversely proportional to lambda to the power 4. This is known as Rayleigh condition for scattering. If the scatterers are of large size, then lights of all wavelengths are scattered nearly equal. So this will be followed when the scatterers are too small. Then intensity is inversely proportional to the wavelength of the light. Okay, the fourth power of the wavelength of the light. But if the scatterers are of large size, just keep in mind, if it is of large size, then lights of all wavelength is scattered nearly equal. And when it will scatter nearly equal, then you will see only white light present over there. Okay, so now based on this only, there are few natural phenomena, that is blue color of the sky. Why the sky appears blue? Can you guess why it appears blue? Actually, the scattering of light, it also obeys Rayleigh condition. Since wavelength of red color is maximum, you know that the wavelength of red color is maximum and that of violet or blue color is minimum. So red color is scattered the least क्योंकि उसकी wavelength maximum है तो उसकी intensity कम होगी. That is why it the violet color which is having the least wavelength, उसकी intensity ज़्यादा होगी, because as we have studied according to the Rayleigh condition, both the things are inversely proportional to each other. So violet is having the least wavelength, that is why its intensity is more, and since its intensity is more, it will scatter the most. But since our eyes are less sensitive to violet color, that is why we see the blue color in the sky. That is why the scattered blue color enters our eyes and hence the sky appears blue. So why does the sky appears blue? It depends upon the intensity of the wavelength. Intensity or the wavelength. The wavelength of red is maximum there, that is why its intensity is less. Wavelength of violet color is more, that is why its wavelength of violet color is less, that is why its intensity is more, and that is why we see blue color everywhere or in the sky. Now there are two questions arise. Sky would have looked dark if the earth had no atmosphere, because this light is suffering refraction just because of atmosphere. So if there is no atmosphere, it would have looked dark. Second thing, sky appears dark to the passengers flying at very high altitude, because there the density is very low, and we can say that atmosphere is also very less there. So that is why it appears dark to the passengers. Now move to the next one, that white color of the clouds. Why the clouds appear white to us? See, clouds are at lower height, so the scatterers is much greater than the wavelength of light. As we have discussed earlier, that if the size of the scatterer is larger, then Rayleigh condition is not valid there. And since the Rayleigh condition is not valid, so we are not dependent upon that, and that means it will scatter all lights equally. That is why the clouds appear white to us and not of different color. Now, why danger signals are of red color? See, we know that the wavelength of the red color is the maximum. That is why its intensity will be least. Since its intensity is least, so it will scatter less while passing through the atmosphere. So if it will not scatter, it will directly come to our eyes. And when it will come directly to our eyes, so it will appear more bright. That is why the danger signals are of red color, so that person can easily catch that danger zone. Okay, so that the light will not scatter and you will easily catch that red color and you will come to know that there is danger. So you are less at risk then. Move to reddish sunrise and sunset. Why the sun appears red at the time of sunrise and sunset? Actually, it appears red during sunrise and sunset. It is because of, according to Rayleigh condition only, because large wavelength of red color, the scattering of red color is minimum. Okay, it is also the same as that कि रेड कलर की इंटेंसिटी बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाती है क्योंकि कम हो जाती है क्योंकि उसकी वेवलेंथ बहुत ज़्यादा होती है. दैट इज़ वाई इट स्कैटर्ड लीस्ट. सो बेसिकली इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन कि जिसकी वेवलेंथ ज़्यादा है उसकी इंटेंसिटी कम है और वो कम स्कैटर होगा. दैट इज़ वाई इट विल बी विजिबल मोर. इसीलिए हमें सनराइज़ और सनसेट के टाइम पर जो सन है वो रेड कलर का दिखाई देता है क्योंकि एट दैट टाइम वो हमारे बहुत पास होता है एंड वी आर एबल टू सी डायरेक्टली. दैट मीन्स रेड लाइट विल स्कैटर लेस एंड इट विल डायरेक्टली रीच टू आवर आईज एंड वी कैन सी इट्स रेड कलर. देन मूव टू Tyndall effect. What is Tyndall effect? You have already observed this. You might have done this activity. if you have ever tried passing a ray or a beam of light through any solution. See, this is a simple solution and this is a colloidal solution. So now let us first discuss what is colloidal solution. Actually, the colloidal solution is that solution which is miscible throughout. That means all the particles is scattered in one of the solution, and it is mixed throughout in that. That is colloidal solution. So if you will allow a beam of light to pass through a colloidal solution, it will scatter the light, or it will the particles of that solution will be visible to you. Like milk in water is also a colloidal solution. You just try it at home, that mix milk and water and allow a beam of light through a torch to pass through it. You will see the colloidal particles. Okay. Let me show you another effects. Tyndall effect. The phenomenon of scattering of light by smoke. Through smoke you might have seen dust, water droplets or colloidal particles is known as Tyndall effect. For example, when light beam enters a dark room, dust particles suspended in air become visible. Or you might have seen in your book also the Tyndall effect. Or through a thick forest, when sunlight enters through a thick forest, you can see the dust particles suspended there. Okay, that is Tyndall effect. So one more example is here. When light is made to fall on the colloidal particles placed in a glass vessel in a dark room, then colloidal solution is illuminated. That is also a Tyndall effect. Similarly, Tyndall effect can be seen when this I have already discussed, that when it enters through a thick forest, you can see the Tyndall effects. Okay, so for today this is enough. Chapter is closed now. Kindly complete your notes on time and submit your work when the school will reopen. Okay, take care.